Hello everyone, welcome back to the end episode of this story. Jungkook's heart raced as he cradled Taehyung in his arms in the back seat of the car. Taehyung's breath was shallow, each rise and fall of his chest growing weaker. Jungkook, Taehyung, stay with me, Jungkook whispered desperately, his voice breaking. Jungkook, I am here. I am not going anywhere. Just hold on a little longer. Taehyung's father drive Leslie, his face pale and green, the guilt that at him was unbearable. He had never meant for his son to get hurt. His clenched turned white as he gripped the steering wheel tighter, slightly, praying that they would reach the hospital in time. Jungkook's eyes didn't leave them for a second. He gently wiped the sweat from Taehyung's forehead, his tears falling freely. Jungkook, you promised me, Taehyung, you promised. His fingers twitched weakly in Jungkook's hand, and for a moment Jungkook thought he saw a flicker of recognition in Taehyung's eyes. Then Taehyung's voice was barely audible. But it was enough to make Jungkook's heart launch. Jungkook, I'm here, baby. Just hold on a little longer. We are almost there. Jungkook said, forcing a reassuring smile through his tears. The car screeched to a halt in front of the hospital. Jungkook gripped tighter on Taehyung as doctors and nurses rushed to the car with the stretcher. Jungkook, please save him. Jungkook pleaded as they carefully lifted Taehyung out of his arms. The medical team walked quickly, wheeling Taehyung into the emergency room. Jungkook tried to follow, but the nurse stopped him at the door. Nurse, you need to wait here. We will do everything. Jungkook's knees clenched as he collapsed into the chair, his hands trembling, his mind raced with fear and guilt replaying in his mind. Taehyung took the bullet for him. Taehyung's father stood nearby, his face strange and solemn. He hesitated before speaking. Dad, I never wanted this to happen. I just wanted to protect him. I didn't think. Jungkook said, snapped off, his eyes blazing with anger and pain. Jungkook, protect him. You almost killed him. He is fighting for his life because of you. The older man flinched as Jungkook's words. His shoulders sagging under the weight of his guilt. Dad, I know. I will do whatever it takes to make this right. I will save him no matter what it costs me. Jungkook didn't respond. His focus was slowly on closed doors of emergency room. Jungkook, please don't take him away from me, he whispered, his voice barely audible. The waiting felt like eternity, every second stretching painfully as Jungkook's world hung in the balance. The hours dragged on and Jungkook remained in the same spot, eyes locked on the emergency room door, unable to tear himself away. Taehyung's father had left to make calls and arrange for any necessary support, but Jungkook was too consumed with fear to care about anything other than Taehyung. Jungkook's thoughts were just a mess, each one filled with desperation. Why did Taehyung have to take that bullet from me? Why couldn't I protect him? He could still feel the weight of Taehyung's on his hands, the pressure of his limp body, and the haunting image of Taehyung's pain. Finally, she asked, her voice steady, but there was something in her eyes that made Jungkook's heart sink. Jungkook jumped to his feet, his voice trembling as he stepped towards her. Jungkook, is he okay? Please tell me he is okay. His words were barely a whisper, choked with emotion. The doctor looked at Jungkook for a moment before responding. Doctor, we were able to remove the bullets, but injury was severe and he lost a lot of blood. He is stable for now, but we can't guarantee anything. His condition is still critical. Jungkook's legs feel weak and his strength staggered back. His hands gripped the chair for support. His breathing changed and for a moment he couldn't speak. Jungkook, please, please do everything to save him. Doctor, we will do everything we can, but right now the best thing you can do is wait. He needs rest. The next few hours are critical. Jungkook nodded numbly, his heart pounding in his chest. He couldn't bear the thought of losing them, not after everything they had been through, not after everything Taehyung had done for him. Jungkook, I will stay with him. I need to be there when he wakes up, Jungkook said, his voice unbearing, desperate and fear eating him. Doctor, of course, we will let you know as soon as there is any chance. With that, the doctor walked away, leaving Jungkook standing there. Taehyung was in a friendly state, and Jungkook knew that nothing he could do would make it go away. All he could do was wait and hope that Taehyung would pull through, hope that the love they shared collapsed into the chair once more, running his hands through his hair in frustration. He wanted to be strong for them, but the fear, the uncertainty was too much to bear. Jungkook, I'm sorry, Taehyung, he whispered, his voice barely audible but full of pain. Jungkook, I'm sorry. You had to protect me. Please don't leave me. I need you. Outside the room, Jungkook's father lingered to the hallway, staring at the floor. He had heard every word, seen the desperation in Jungkook's eyes, and now he felt the weight of rejection more than ever. He had pushed his son too far, and he let his anger cloud his judgment, and now he feared that it might cost him everything. After a long pause, he finally walked up to Jungkook, his voice strained and full of regrets. Dad, I never meant for this to happen. I didn't want him to get hurt. He felt hard guilt washing over him. Dad, I was wrong. I know that now. Jungkook didn't look up at him. His focus entirely on the door where Taehyung was, his hands trembling as he clenched them into fist, holding back the rage and sorrow. Jungkook, you almost killed him. If it wasn't for him, if it wasn't taking the bullet for me, his voice fluttered. But he pushed forward. Jungkook, he did it because he loves me. And you stopped himself. He stopped himself, biting back the anger. Jungkook, you don't deserve him. Taehyung's father lowered his gaze, unable to say anything more. He knew Jungkook was right. He had made mistake, terrible one, and now Jungkook, if Taehyung doesn't make it, I will never forgive you. Taehyung's father didn't answer. He couldn't. Not when the words felt so true. The next few hours felt like an eternity to Jungkook. Every time the door opened, his heart skipped a beat, hoping for good news, but the moments dragged on, each one heavier than the last. Finally, after what seems like forever, a nurse came to tell him that his condition has stabilized. Nurse, he is still unconscious, but he is holding on. He is tough. The nurse gave him a reassuring smile. Nurse, you can see him now if you would like. Jungkook didn't waste a second. He stood up, his legs unsteady, and followed the nurse down the hallway to Taehyung's room. When Jungkook saw Taehyung lying there, pale and connected to machines, his heart settled all over again. But seeing him alive, even in such a friendly state, gave Jungkook a sense of relief. Taehyung was still with him. Jungkook gently sat beside Taehyung's bed, taking his hand in his own, brushing a lock of hair from his forehead. Jungkook, I'm here. Taehyung, I am not going anywhere. Please come back to me. His voice cracked as he spoke, filled with raw emotion. He didn't know how long he sat there, just holding things and talking softly to him, promising that everything would be okay. All he could do was wait and hope that Taehyung would wake up and that they could continue their life together. Jungkook stayed by Taehyung's side for hours. His fingers never left Taehyung's hand, tracing the lines on his palm as if willing him to wake up. The nurse came and went, checking on things, but Jungkook barely noticed them. His world has shrunk to the man lying unconscious in the bed in front of him. Jungkook whispered softly, his voice full of both sorrow and hope. Jungkook, Taehyung, please wake up. I can't lose you. I can't live without you. He closed his eyes for a moment, letting the tears fall freely, not caring whose he had always been strong for him, but now, without him fully unconscious, Jungkook felt exposed. He didn't know how much longer he could keep this up, pretending to be okay when inside his heart was breaking. As the night wore on, Jungkook didn't move. He had arranged a chair beside the bed and settled in, unwilling to leave things side even for a second. Hours passed before anything changed. Jungkook was on the verge of falling asleep when he noticed a slight movement. Jungkook was on the verge of falling asleep. Moments, Taehyung's fingers twitched and then slowly his eyes fluttered open. At first, Taehyung's gaze was unfocused, blurry. He he blinked a few times as if trying to make sense of where he was. Then his eyes landed on Jungkook, and a faint but reassuring smile spread across his face. Then Jungkook, his voice was weak, crispy, but it was enough to make Jungkook's heart shrugged and with relief. Jungkook didn't know what to say. His throat was tight with emotion, and all he could do was lean forward, placing his forehead gently against Taehyung's hand weakly squeezed. Jungkook's his eyes half lidded, but there was a faint spark in them as if he was still trying to gather strength. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just wanted to protect you. His words were soft, almost like a whisper, but his sincerity in his voice made Jungkook harder. As Jungkook shook his head, holding things and tighter. Don't apologize. You saved me. You always do. You don't need to protect me, Taehyung. I'm here for you now. Taehyung's eyes softened, his lips curled in a big smile. He looked so vulnerable, so fragile. For a long time they stayed like that, just holding hands, exchanging quiet words of comfort. Jungkook felt Taehyung's strength returning little by little with each passing second. He wasn't out of danger yet, but the words had passed. Finally, Taehyung spoke again, his voice a little stronger this time. Taehyung, where is my father? He asked, his eyes clouded with confusion. Jungkook, don't worry about him right now. He is not important. You are what mattered. Taehyung nodded slowly, though the tension in the expression didn't quite ease. Jungkook could see that Taehyung was still afraid, but still unsure of what would happen next. But Jungkook promised himself that he wouldn't let Taehyung face it alone. Jungkook, I wouldn't let anything happen to you, Taehyung, no matter what your father or anyone else tries. I'll protect you, he said it firmly. Taehyung, I know. Jungkook, I know. He gave a smile, pained. I'm sorry I made you worry. I will be okay. Jungkook smiled, his heart swelling with relief, and kissed Taehyung's forehead gently. Jungkook, you don't have to apply. Just focus on getting better, okay? I will be right here. Jungkook felt a weight lift from his chest. Taehyung was awake, and although there was still a long road to recovery ahead, he was alive, and that was all that mattered to Jungkook. And as the night faded into dawn, Jungkook sat beside Taehyung, refusing to leave him for even a second. Days passed. passed slowly as Taehyung recovered. His body growing stronger with each moment Jungkook was there by. Jungkook's determination never wavered. He makes sure Taehyung's strength returned bit by bit. He was still weak, his movements slow and unsteady, but his eyes, those warm, deep eyes, began to shine with the light Jungkook had missed so much. Jungkook could see it, and the fire in Taehyung's eyes wouldn't let him be broken, no matter how much pain he had suffered. One morning, Taehyung finally sat up in the bed on his own, and his face mixed up determination and exhaustion. Jungkook had been sitting on the corner of the room reading a book when he heard Taehyung's soft voice. Taehyung, Jungkook, he looked. His voice was hoarse. Jungkook looked up immediately, his heart skipping a beat as he rushed to his side. Jungkook, Taehyung, you awake? How are you feeling? He asked, the concern evident in his voice. He gently held Taehyung against the pillow. Taehyung smiled faintly, though the expression was still restrained. Taehyung, I'm okay, I'm just getting better. Thanks to you, Jungkook's heart edged all the words, and he smiled softly, brushing the lock. Jungkook, you don't need to thank me. I told you I'm here for you. I will always be. Taehyung nodded slowly, his gaze softening as he took Jungkook's hand in his, squeezing it gently. Taehyung, I know I couldn't ask for a better person by my side. Jungkook, I love you. Taehyung, I love you too, Jungkook. 5 years later, the scene had changed drastically. From the past, Taehyung and Jungkook had endured. The mansion was filled with warmth and laughter now. A stop to cool tension atmosphere. It once held. Taehyung's father, once an imposing figure, was now doing grandfather, laughing as he chased a playful 4 years old around the yard. Yes, they adopted the kid after getting married. The child giggled enough through the air, bringing the sense of joy that Taehyung had never imagined possible in the house. Jungkook and Taehyung walked up to the house hand in hand. Taehyung smiled at the sight of his father, his heart light as he saw the change in the man who had once been so distant. Jungkook squeezed his hand, a soft, shared look of contentment passing between them as they watched their little one play with older man. Jungkook seems like someone is spoiling him already. Taehyung clenched softly, leaning into Taehyung's father. His smile was wider, genuine as he looked at two of them. His eyes softened even further when he caught sight of their son. He walked over to them, pulling the little one into his arms again, his affection visible as he cuddled him closer. Dad, I swear this kid has wrapped me around his fingers already. His voice he had never thought he would see his father, the man who had once so controlling, becoming so gentle and loving, especially towards someone he wasn't even raised. The transformation was beyond what Taehyung had imagined, and it made everything feel complete. Taehyung, I didn't think I would see this day, Taehyung said quietly, watching as his father smiled at their child. Jungkook placed a hand on Taehyung's shoulder, giving him a reassuring excuse. Jungkook, people change. Taehyung sometimes take a little time. He glanced over Taehyung's father. Dad, how about you both head inside and I'll make sure the little one doesn't get into any trouble, he said, his tone light as he held their son's hand. Dad, I'm sure you two had the busy day. As they walked inside, Taehyung sat down on the couch watching the father interact with their child. Taehyung's father was sitting on Taehyung's father was sitting on the floor now, helping the boy with the puzzles and the joy of their face. His face was undeniable. Taehyung could see it, unconditional love he had for their son. It was a side of him that Taehyung had never seen, and it made his heart swell. Jungkook sat beside Taehyung, watching them. He leaned into Taehyung, resting his head on his shoulder. Jungkook, people do change. He loves him. Felt a sense of a peace, a feeling he had longed for but never thought he would have. The journey had been long, filled with headaches and fear, but now, looking at the family they had built, Taehyung knew it had been worth it. Taehyung, yeah, he saved us all. As the night drew in, the four of them settled in together with Taehyung's father, telling stories, the little one laughing at the jokes, and Taehyung and Jungkook sharing a quiet moment of contentment. They had created their own kind of family, a family bond not by blood, by the love, and that was more than enough. Jungkook leaned closer, whispering in Taehyung's ears. Jungkook, let's make sure we give him the same love we have built together every day, Taehyung always. As they walked down the hallway towards their room, Jungkook's smile never left his face. The mischievous glint in his eyes catch Taehyung's attention, and Taehyung could feel a flutter in his chest, knowing exactly what was about to happen. It had been 5 years, but Jungkook still had that effect on him. Jungkook reached to the door and out their room, and without a word, he turned the handle, pushing it open with a quiet creak. He glanced at Taehyung with that signature smirk, and Taehyung's heart raced. Followed him inside. Jungkook closed the door behind them with a soft click. As Jungkook locked the door, Taehyung's eyes followed him, studying the way Jungkook moved, the way he always seems to own every room he entered. The one who would never let go, but in this quiet, intimate moment, I felt something deeper. Stronger over time. Jungkook turned to Taehyung, his eyes softening. The playful smirk was still there, but now there was something else, something that made Taehyung's heart swell. Love, tenderness, and some warmth he had felt the very first time they had been together. Jungkook took a deep step closer, his hands racing for Taehyung's face, gently cupping it. Taehyung felt a shiver run down his spine at the touch, a reminder of how much Jungkook had always meant to him, and he still did. Jungkook spoke softly, his voice low but full of emotion. Jungkook, after 5 years, you're still my baby, my first love, my rebellious, cute, and impossible to ignore man I fell in love with. You are my everything. Taehyung's heart skipped a beat at the words he had never heard. His voice was barely a whisper. He reached, brushing his fingers along Jungkook's arm, feeling the warmth of his skin beneath his touch. You have been my everything too. You have been all I ever wanted. Jungkook's expression softened further, and he leaned in, his lips brushing gently against his forehead, then moved on to his lips. It was a slow, tender kiss filled with all the love they had built together. Once the Taehyung kissed him back. Jungkook, even now, after all we have been through, you are still the one who made my heart race and the one who made me feel alive. I'm never letting you go. Taehyung, not now, not ever. Taehyung, his arm slipped around Jungkook's waist, held him tight, pressing his chest against Jungkook's. And I don't want to let go. I have always been yours, and I'll always be yours. I love you, Jungkook, so much. Jungkook smiled against his lips, pulling him closer. If that was even possible, in that moment, it was just the two of them wrapped in each other's arms, each other, loving each other like they always had and always would. Jungkook, you are mine, and I will always make sure you know it. The moment, the warmth of Jungkook's words and the feeling of being home in his arms, he knew that no matter what happened next, they were in this together. As the door of their past slowly closed behind them, they stepped into their future together, always the end. Everyone, how was it? I know you will feel a bit disappointed that I didn't show. Thanks for the feeling guilt and regret and asking for forgiveness, but I hope you will enjoy it. How was it? Comment it down. And what is your thought about it? What do you think? What should have been done? I should have been adding the regret, the forgiveness and all in the episode, but I didn't want it to drag it. I didn't want it to make it more longer, so I did the ending in this way. Hope you will enjoy it. If you have any question, any suggestion, any request, comment it down. See you again. Bye. Love you.